Hello friends, I'm wondering if any of you recognize what this grain is. I recently discovered this while doing one of my $1 a day videos and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. I love the dish I made in my challenge and have been thinking about all of the ways I'd like to try this grain. You may have guessed it, I'm talking about millet. If you are eating on a low budget, then millet is probably a good option for you. At $1.08 a pound, it provides a lot of nutrients. Millet is a whole food grain that is eaten in most parts of the world. It is high in protein with 11 grams per serving and contains fiber, calcium, iron, B vitamins, and manganese. The more research I did, the more I realized millet is a staple food in almost every culture of the world. Traditionally, it's been eaten as a porridge in Africa, Jamaica, China, India, and Europe. In some Asian countries, it's made savory and frequently includes beans, pumpkin, or other types of squash. Other countries like Germany eat a sweet version of the porridge. They make it with apples that are boiled in with the water during the cooking process and eaten with some honey on top. Some of my viewers reached out to me and said that they eat millet interchangeably with oatmeal for their breakfast. So that's exactly how I'm going to try it for my first meal. In this video, I'll be trying both a sweet and a savory porridge option. I discovered 2 new ways to use millet in recipes that I thoroughly enjoyed, so I'll be sharing that with you as well. One of the stores I go to had walnuts on sale for $2.99 a pound, so I've been adding these to everything lately, and I've really been enjoying them. Sometimes walnuts are a little bitter, but this time they weren't at all. I'll admit I didn't really know what I was doing when I cooked this the first time. I went ahead and topped it the way I normally would my oatmeal, and added extra milk on top. I like a nice creamy consistency. I would have been equally as happy using vanilla almond milk. This was delicious and I would definitely eat this again. Millet has a little bit more of a bite to it than oatmeal, so it's a nice texture change and it's very, very filling. Kept me filled up till almost lunchtime. I like the fact that studies have shown that it lowers cholesterol and helps with diabetes. I'm always looking for new breakfast foods that are healthy. I put the leftovers in the fridge and ate it again for breakfast the next day. This time, I added diced apples, pumpkin pie spice, and extra nutmeg. I enjoy the acidity that adding fruits adds to the porridge. It just helps to balance it out. I feel the same way about oatmeal. It has a lovely creamy texture, and yet when you bite into those apples, it gives you that nice crunch and extra tang from the apple. I think it's a really nice balance. I've been thinking about what I can do with the remainder of this millet. It's separated a little bit from the milk. What I could do is squeeze out the excess water and maybe try to form some kind of cakes with what's left over. And I could season it with a variety of things. I've got this asparagus that would be good alongside it. I got a big bag of this at Sam's Club. And I'm pretty much eating it with all of my meals now because nobody else in my family eats that. But I've got the pizza blend left over. I've got a little bit left over from another video. I always have this Tillamook extra sharp cheddar. and this wasn't supposed to be in there. I've got this feta cheese that I got at Sam's Club on a special. Because it's a soft cheese, it will go bad quicker than the others. So I do need to use this, and I do love feta. So that will be my choice for the cheese. I also have this kale left over from my last video where I did the bowl. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut the kale into strips and add that in. Now I'm going to see what I have in my spice cabinet that will go well here. I do have this garlic salt, which I definitely think is a winner no matter what I go with. Paprika would give it some great color and a little bit of heat. This everything but the elote seasoning from Trader Joe's would make a really nice chipotle southwest kind of cake. Maybe we could serve it alongside some black beans. I don't know if I told you guys, but having that seasoning on top of corn is so delicious. Definitely try it if you haven't. Turmeric, we could do that. Would add a little bit of flavor and is going to be good for us. We could also add curry powder or a little bit extra spice. Not sure I'm feeling that actually today though. I think I'll do 2 cakes because I'm not sure which kind I would like best. So, and this is typically what I do. I like to try different things. So rather than make everything the same and I might not like it, I'd rather make 2 different styles and see how I like it best. So I think that that's what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and chop this very fine so it goes into my patty as well. I also found these carrots in the fridge left over from a stir fry, so I'm going to go ahead and use these up before they go bad.
This was amazing. There were so many flavor bombs going on in this little millet patty with the feta, the sun-dried tomatoes, the walnuts, and the millet provided a nice texture for the patty. I was quite surprised at how much I enjoyed this, and I've already made this meal 3 times since filming this. Unfortunately, I did not like the one with turmeric. It was bitter, so I'm not sure if I added too much seasoning or if I needed to add something else to help balance it out. So pro cooks out there, let me know what you think. I'm not as used to using that seasoning, turmeric, but I would like to because I know that it has anti-inflammatory properties and it's supposed to be good for your health. So I definitely would like to learn more about using that. I tried to mellow it out with a little bit of table cream, but even that didn't seem to help. I frequently eat Greek yogurt along with a little whipped cream to make it a light and airy texture that is slightly sweet. I tried it along with some millet and it was very good. It still maintained its fluffy texture, but yet gave me some extra nutrition. One of the things I don't like about eating yogurt for breakfast is the fact that I'm hungry within an hour or two after eating. I like this so much that I'm going to start adding millet to my yogurt on a regular basis, and I'm hoping it'll help to keep me full until lunch. For my final meal, I made a butternut squash millet congee. I discovered congee when I created my last $1 a day challenge. For that video, I made a rice congee. This time, I'm using millet in the same way. I wanted to make a pumpkin congee, but the store was already out of pumpkins. It's fine though, because I do love butternut squash. The key to this dish and to making congee is patience. It does take the millet a long time to cook. I had to add additional water a few times. I didn't want to make very much because I wasn't sure how I would like it and I didn't want to waste any of the millet. I ended up switching to a larger pan. Millet congee is a magical dish because you'll taste it and it won't seem like it has any flavor at all and you're going to think it's not coming together. But if you keep giving it more time, eventually it'll start to work its magic. And I thought perhaps I would need some vegetable bouillon for flavoring or something like that. But once it started thickening up at the very end, it became flavorful because the butternut squash melted basically into the soup and the millet created this most amazing smooth texture, and along with the little butter and sugar, it was really good, and it was a perfect dish for fall. So I wish that I would have made the entire pot, but
Again, I didn't want to waste any of it. I'll definitely be recreating this tomorrow with the rest of the butternut squash. In the US, we use flour and cornstarch to thicken our soups, whereas in other countries, they're using things like millet and rice, and it's adding additional nutrients like protein and fiber to the dish, which helps with controlling blood sugar and reducing cholesterol levels. So why use cornstarch or flour when you can easily use a whole grain? I will say, though, that you do need to know where to shop for this. When I purchased it at Winco, it was very inexpensive. It's also available at ethnic stores at a cheap price, but purchasing the Bob's Red Mill like I did is probably going to be the most expensive. I'm so happy to have discovered millet. By looking at whole foods that have been used throughout the world in times of both feast and famine, we can discover low-cost, healthy meals. If you watch my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider doing so. It'll help support my channel, and by hitting the notifications tab, you'll be notified as soon as I release new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.